Hey out there, this is Cocklaw, and this is going to be a Sky Poker video at the £2 level, double your money. These games are obviously low stakes, so very cautiously and look for some big hands, so just sit back, wait for some big hands, and hopefully get them in against someone preferably dominated or a much weaker hand. You find in these games they can be very fast and furious. People play very loose, either beginning players or players that just want to have a quick £2 bit of fun. But if you play consistently and play well, you can do well at them if you either bankrolls a little short or you just maybe don't want to risk as much. Maybe your time scale doesn't allow you to. For instance, I sometimes play these on my lunch hour at work, so you'll find the lower stakes games run a bit quickly because the players are looser or not as experienced, so the games are faster. Where if you play the £5, £10 games, that they'll generally last a little longer as the players are a little bit make less mistakes. Hopefully we'll see some of those type mistakes in this game so we can talk them through. As I've said before, you'll find a lot of limpage and multiple players to single pots. I find the best way is just to stay out of the way in the earlier rounds, see how the table's playing, see if we can spot any weak players, any tight players, and try and make moves accordingly. I try not to overthink too much of the hands. If they are inexperienced players, then you may find they're playing cards that they may believe to be good cards, but they could be just picture cards, Queen Jack, King Jack, these sort of hands, and they're like aces to them. They just see picture cards and they'll fight you to the death. So I don't try and overthink the hands. Probably be less likely to bluff in these games because people don't really think too much if they're gonna call, if they've got a draw, if they like the hand, wherever it may be, they're not gonna fold, so they won't really consider what you have. If they've got something that they like, they'll see you all the way down. So when I do get my money in, I'm gonna try and have at least something of worth and try not to make any silly mistakes. First hand worthy of note for me, I'll try and limp and hope everyone follows suit as the norm. If it's raised up, I was just going to say, if it's raised up 5 times the big blind, if it was already seen a couple of times, I'll release this here. I could always call, and if I get the ideal flop 2 pair or maybe a very strong flush draw, then you could trap someone quite easily here. But in the early rounds, I'll let that one go, and as you can see, we're very fiery already on Kill King, showing a lot of aggression. He's re-raised all in. He calls King 10 versus Queen 10. As I said earlier on, kind of weakish hands, playing them very strongly, very aggressively. And you've got to say, stealth really way too aggressive with just top pair with a very medium kick, and those are the kinds of troubles you see playing those sort of hands. If you don't hit the right flops, that's not the flop you're looking for. Just pairing your 10. If I would have played my King 9 there and the board was 9 high, okay, I'd certainly put my feelers out there and maybe raise and bet. But if somebody came in all over the top of me, you'd have to think he had a pair of 9s or a pair of 10s in that case was beaten there, and he's lost half his stack in that one hand. We'll also note that Kill King actually re-raised me there with King 10 of spades, or raised 5 times the big blind with King 10 of suited. So he obviously likes any picture cards are good enough for him, and he will raise up, which is good aggressive play, I believe. Again, we're seeing some more aggression here. There's a pre-flop raise aggression. Yeah, I think she's got the queen here. She has two pair, or quads as it's known. She had a little more than one queen. She had her own pair of queens in the pocket. Nice little surprise there. Oh well, nice early action on. Hopefully everyone will kill each other and I can just breeze by and pick up my £2 lunch money, no problem at all. Kill King, we've already seen him be very aggressive. Let's see if we can hit a set and make him make a mistake. A 9-6 board. Pretty good board for 8, with pretty much anything as we've seen on the earlier hand. Let's see what he does. Okay, he bets. Now shall I raise or call? And we know he likes those picture cards, so could he have had something like Queen Jack? An insta call. I'm always very wary when people call so instantly. It shows a little too much keenness for me. Let's see if he fires out a low bet on. You see, if he would have fired out a larger bet there, I would be more likely to call. But he's shown ultimate regression in earlier hands. And then on that hand there, he just suddenly slowed down on the river and fired in about a third of the pot. Maybe tight from me there, but I honestly believe he had a 9, a flush of the queen, so I'll let that one go. Okay, an interesting flop for me here. It's up and down. See an extra card if I can. Well, I've made the straight. I'm obviously praying he's got an ace or ace 10. It doesn't seem like he's got anything. He doesn't seem interested at all, especially for an aggressive player. I'll try and get some value out of this hand. Oh, at least he called up. Okay, I'm still in the game. 6-9. A min raise. I always like to see these boards when I'm not in the hand because they're always interesting flops when they're connected in this way. Flush draws, straight draws with an ace. And as we can see, people are getting involved. Hopefully another player will go out here. And we'll say goodbye to Mr. Stealth. Has Mr. Stealth got the draw? Or the ace? Or could he be in there with Queen 10 again? Jack 10 this time. Oh dear. Likes to get himself dominated, that one. Oh well. Even though we're in a good position as there is only 4 players left, it is not good that I am the short stack here, as people will try and push me around and try and keep me short and keep the pressure on myself. Now I've got to try and either get my money in good with a good hand, preferably dominating someone, or at least creep back up into a better position by just stealing pots like that one, and hopefully catch someone up. He's taking his time. I think he was really considering raising there, or it is possible he could be multi-tabling. I find I play 2 tables quite easily. I often try and not let myself get distracted while playing poker, as it's very easy to have an Explorer or Google open on another page and start wandering around, shopping, looking at things we shouldn't be. It's nothing worse than trying to keep your eye on a couple of poker games while maybe some young ladies flashing their goodies on another page. It's never a good idea. Have match of the day on. If you can keep your head in the game, you'll find you will have better results. But that is easier said than done. I'm sure a lot of you would agree with that. Especially when the games are this slow, and sometimes you'll see players that they'll let the time bars run down all the way and then make the decision some people actually do this intentionally just to get the blinds up and, kind of try and get the blinds up to smother the shorter stacks. There's a nice river for me. I won't go too crazy with the flush coming as well. How he didn't raise there, I don't know, but I'm glad he didn't. He would have put me to a difficult decision. I would have been very tempted to call. Well, I take another hit there. Should have played that more aggressively early on. Let him get there, as they say. That is exactly what you don't want to do. So as my stack's dwindling down here, as the blinds go up, it will come to the point where I won't have much equity to raise with, because a typical raise could nearly see just under a quarter of my stack in the middle. Now, I might get away with one or two, but once the blinds go up, I really be at a point where it's either all in or fold, which isn't too bad a philosophy in these games anyway, especially in the lower stakes. You'll get called off with all sorts of hands. So obviously I'm not saying go all in with Queen 10 or Jack 10, but if you've got Ace Queen, Ace King, you could easily just jam with those cards and hope to get called. It does happen often, and I've even done those sort of moves with aces and kings, because if people have got an ace or any pair, they'll call also. They hit me straight on the river. Trying to squeeze value may be too obvious there. Then they're having any of that. Oh well, I'm managing to fight back slowly. They're not keeping me down too much. No. You see these three now, they'll play very timidly against each other because they're just hoping to get me out the way, really. And rightly so. I'm getting a lot of medium hands. I'm just really getting out the way there, because also in these lower stakes games, sometimes you will find these players that are willing to go all in against the only player that can bust them on the table. Just for instance, if Water Butt, I believe he's called, went up against Kill King, it'd be a silly move because he's one of the few players at the table I could bust him. So being aggressive against me makes much more sense, but playing against each other is not really worthwhile. Another great hand for me. Speculative though. If you hit right here, I could do some damage. Not really the flop I was looking for. Certainly looking for better than that to get me money in with. I will let that one go. See what the next hand brings. I'll keep the faith. Pocket kings, just what we need. Oh, a raise. Now, I'm just going to go in all in here. Now, I'm not worried about putting him off the hand. I'm hoping he'll call here with a real medium hand. Oh, pocket tens. We have him dominated, so as good as we could hope for. He can hit a jack now. Oh, he didn't need to, as he hit his 10 on the turn. So, thanks for watching my video. It didn't end the way I hoped. Maybe the less said about that hand the better, but it does happen, 1 in 7.5 times. It'll happen, there's no point crying about it. It's just a thing that happens. Well, thanks for watching.